Today I'm going to talk about working on your scratch techniques, being patient, and recording vocals and making them fit within a certain amount of bars. This is Share the Knowledge. For the last 22 years, I've been rocking stages, playing in clubs, and having a lot of fun as a DJ and turntablist, and I've seen and learned a lot. Now it's time for me to share that knowledge by answering the questions that can help you become a better DJ. I'm djTLM, and this is Share the Knowledge. Guys, what's going on? Welcome to episode 21 of Share the Knowledge. If you're watching this on YouTube, welcome. If you're checking out the podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes, welcome to you as well. If you're watching on YouTube, you want to check the podcast, I'll leave a link in the description down below. Now, this is a special summertime edition, the outside edition, and the reason for that is simple. It is way too hot inside right now. It's like a high 90s, and it was hot. It was just too hot, nothing but sweat. Didn't like it. Second reason is the whole fam is home, so it's also a bit too crowded and noisy. This is the perfect solution for now, and I'm not complaining because being outside right now is a joy. And this is a great way to end this summer because we probably only have a couple more days like this left, and then it's back to typical Dutch weather. It is what it is. So I have a lot of questions, and to be honest, I probably have too many questions, and I told a couple of you that I was going to answer your question in the next episode. It might not make it on 21, and it might make it to 22. So be patient with me if your question is not answered in this episode. If you want to ask me questions for future episodes, just go to Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. My handle is djTLM. Ask me anything and add the hashtag Share the Knowledge. So the first question is, I have a question about downloading from YouTube during gigs. I download music when I'm performing, and I don't play from other people's cell phones. If it is not in my library, I tell the person I don't have it. One guy got upset because I wouldn't play a song from his phone because his boy was a rapper. His comment was that I was going to be sorry I didn't play the song when his boy makes it big. I'm just like, I don't like it, I won't buy it or play it, and he wants to know my opinion when it comes to this situation. All right, now there's a few things I noticed in this question, and before I get to the part about the guy with the phone and his boy being a rapper that might make it big one day, and let's hope he does. Much success to each and every one of you out there. You start off by saying that you download music off YouTube. I would advise against that at all times. Quality-wise, that's just not good. That's just not good. Most of the time, the quality is going to be very poor. And even though a lot of the people might not hear it, some do, and it's just not a good look at all. So please stay away from YouTube as a download source for your music. There's plenty of music to be found in legal stores, and of course you have record pools that also offer a lot of music. YouTube, no. Second option is that you're telling me that you don't play songs of other people's cell phones. That's probably a good thing because playing off a cell phone can't guarantee quality either. It might, if they have high quality files and it's a very good phone with a good output, the sound might be good, but I've seen and heard music through phones in the mixer, and it was horrible. All right, with that out the way, let's get to the part of the question that's more interesting for you. Look, you should not take that serious. Even if that guy, his boy who's a rapper, makes it big, by the time he's big, he's not thinking about that one DJ that wouldn't play his homie song off a phone. It's not gonna happen. You should never worry about anything like that. People will say some stuff. Some people will even try to threaten you or whatever. But let's be honest, that is just not important at all. So don't feel intimidated when people say that. I wouldn't take it too seriously. And just keep it moving. That's all I can really say about that. If someone would tell me that exact thing, like you're going to be sorry because one day he's going to make it big, I'd probably laugh politely and be like, much success to you. I hope you make it big. That's it. Next up, I have a question from Superstar DJ Huss. And he's been watching a lot of my scratch tutorial videos, and he's very inspired and he's putting in that practice, but it's frustrating that it's not going as planned. He wants to know if I have any advice in terms of how long I think it would take for him to get the hang of it. maybe he should begin by using his left hand for scratching. Yeah, he's just not sure. All right, first off, be patient. Patience is very important. Everyone's gonna advance at a separate pace. That's going to be different for each and every one of you. Some people pick it up crazy fast, and within a couple of months they can do an enormous amount of scratches, and for others it's going to take longer. No, there's no special way that you can begin. I cannot tell you that beginning with your left hand is going to be better than starting with your right hand. That all depends on what your strong hand is anyway, and for some people they do every scratch with the strong hand on the vinyl. For others it's the other way around. For me, it's both. I have certain scratches I do with my right hand. I'm right-handed. Right hand on the vinyl. Then I have other scratches I do where I have my right hand on the fader, because that works better for me. So, man, you have the tutorials, put in the work, and if it's not working yet, you got to put in more work. That is the simplest answer, but it's the truth. You have to be patient. And you have a lot of great sources out there right now with all the tips and tutorials that are available, like my videos, but also videos by DJ Angelo. He made tutorials a while ago, years ago, and they're still great. And a couple of other channels on YouTube as well that are even more about scratching than my channel is. So follow the tutorials and keep on practicing. Be patient and don't give up. So let's stay on that topic for a minute, scratching, because I have a question from DJ Ever Since, and he wanted to know if I have any tips for increasing scratching speed. He's at a point where he can perform simple scratches like the transformer scratch, stabs, chirps, etc. But he really wants to increase his speed to add versatility to the scratch combos. He's a percussionist, and he currently uses snare drum sheet music to get some dope rhythms. That's dope. That's very dope. But he wants to know if I have any exercises to work on speed. It's dope that you're a percussionist. Being a percussionist or drummer really helps out when it comes to DJing, but especially when it comes to scratching. I used to drum when I was 14 years old, and that really helped with my hand coordination, because when you're scratching, a lot of times if you're incorporating the fader, your two hands are doing two different things. Even though it's a combo, it goes together. For some it takes a bit longer to get used to that. Drumming really helped me out, so percussion is going to help you out as well. I didn't have any specific exercises to go faster. The only one is just speeding up the music. So if I had a beat and I was comfortable scratching over that beat, I would just increase the speed, increase the tempo, so you have to scratch faster. That's my most basic advice, and that works. You speed it up, you have to scratch faster. Playing slower beats can help as well, because sometimes if the beats are so slow, you can't really follow that tempo. You have to go double time, so you really have to speed it up to match the slow beat. But start with using a beat, and when you're comfortable scratching to that beat, increase the speed, and then you have to increase your scratching speed as well. Good luck. All right, I have a question from DJ Beat. Correction, that's DJ Beat T. I remember, you told me on IG. Let's continue. And the question is, one of my close friends has gotten a lot of gigs lately, and at the moment my equipment is broken and I can't afford to pay for new equipment. So he's really happy that his friend is getting the gigs and he's getting his name out there, but he isn't. So he wants to know how to deal with that. All right. First of all, we got to see this separately. So I'm not going to look at the fact that your friend is having success for now. I'm starting with you. You're telling me that your equipment is broken. That's terrible. I know all about that, having broken equipment or faulty equipment, and it's not always easy to replace that because finances are involved. You don't always have money laying around to just buy new stuff. So I get that. But even if you don't have the equipment, that should not get in the way of you promoting yourself. Hopefully you already have some material online, so that if people ask for mixes, that you have mixes available. But going out there, going to clubs, engaging with people, promoters, going online, trying to connect with people, you can do that with no DJ equipment at all. So you got to keep pushing. Now let's bring that friend back into the mix for a minute. He's getting a lot of gigs right now, and he's getting his name out there. Since this is your friend, you should be able to tell what he's doing that you're maybe not doing, because the difference might be in a factor that you're not calculating in right now. So either you think about that, or if you're not that familiar with what he's actually doing to promote himself or network, ask. If it's your friend, he should be able to share that info. So you're not asking him for gigs, but try to find out what he's doing that you're not doing, because that could also help out. And then on top of that, maybe he's also able to hook you up with some people that he's hooked up with right now for the gigs, or just go along to some of his gigs so you can also meet the promoters and maybe roll into that situation as well. But that's where you need to start. Look at that. All right. So I have a question from DJ Canny20, and the question is, I was wondering if you have any advice for an upcoming female DJ that's trying to leave her mark on the world. All right, now, fact is, for any upcoming DJ, you're going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to make sure that what you deliver is quality, because otherwise you can promote yourself and network for an eternity, but nothing might happen. So you want to make sure that you are good. You want to network, you want to promote, engage with people in real life and online. That's the same for any DJ, but of course the fact is there are a few differences when it comes to being a guy or a girl. There is a certain stigma when it comes to female DJs, and a lot of the male colleagues don't take them as seriously as they should. That's a fact, and it can be a problem. But in other cases, it can work in your advantage as well, because a lot of people do like to see a girl, maybe even more than they like to see a guy. But for me, it's really hard to speak on that situation. This is where I want to ask the female viewers, the DJs out there, if they have any advice when it comes to this particular situation. Are you aware of things that you're doing that are different from what guys do if they want to make their mark on this DJ world? So for me, that's a hard question to answer, and I don't really want to talk about that anymore. I'm not a female. I don't have that experience. I know I have female colleagues, some that are very dope, but it would be great. You know what? I'm going to try and see if I can't fix an interview with some of these ladies to just hear their opinion about the whole situation and see what they actually did that's maybe different from what us guys have to do. So sorry I couldn't help you a lot with that. Maybe some people can in the comment section, and I'm going to try to find more info for you. I don't know if you can tell, but the sweat is real up in here. Oh, man, that's necessary right now, man. All right, next up, the question I have right here is, the question is from DJ I am Shane O'Mac, if I'm reading it right. And he appreciates the videos on counting music, and it has helped him immensely. The question is, how can I time a phrase spoken over the microphone to fit exactly within an 8-bar phrase, so that the last word spoken is just before the one? And I already talked to you a little bit. I was going to talk about it in the video. This is for a studio recording situation where I'll have a few lines to say before my transition to the next track. I can easily loop the last 8-bar phrase if the spoken phrase is too long, but I'd like to know how I can do this so that it fits and sounds neatly. All right, Shane O'Mac it is. I know what you mean, and I've done this a lot of times when I was hosting mixtapes, and you have the mix recorded and then you want to add some vocals. Now in the case where the mix is already recorded, then the empty phrase that can be filled up with some vocals has a set amount of bars. It's a set length, and you have to adjust your timing to fit within those 8 bars. So I don't know what kind of lines you have, but the first thing you need to do is just try and experiment with the lines you have. See if they fit. If it's just way too many words, then it's probably not going to fit, or you're going to have to say them so fast that it's going to not have the same effect you might want it to have. So you play those 8 bars. You can put them on loop, whatever, but play those 8 bars. Practice your lines over those 8 bars. See if at least it can fit within that part. If it's not too long and it fits, and it might even be too short, then you can start to work on your timing. I can't really give you this phrase by phrase because it all depends on the lines, and you're going to have to find your own flow with that. But experimenting is key when it comes to this situation. You have the lines, you try the lines. If it's too long, I would say adjust the lines, because longer than 8 bars might be too long for a vocal part. If it's like emceeing, just a bit of hosting, then it's too long. If it's actually 8 bars of rapping or singing, as in for a song, and it's way longer, then you might think about talking to the producer and maybe making your part longer than that. But even then, you still want to make it flow and make it fit however long it is, 8 bars, 12 bars, 16 bars. So what I did, if I had a line, I would just try that out, try it in a couple different ways that sounded right until it felt right for me. And like you said, you want it to end before that new one comes in. So I might be saying something like, yo, you're checking out djTLM, the last Mohican, representing Amsterdam on the 1s and 2s. You're checking out what? The mixtape part 2. And then I wanted to say something like, let's go, right before that one. Let's go, bang. That's the one. So I just experimented until it fit and I got it right. So it's gonna be about your flow. That's gonna dictate if it's gonna fit or not. And you might have to adjust your speed, take out some words, maybe add some words to make it work. That's basically the best advice I can give you. Or I'd have to make an actual video. You know what? I hope this helps you out, but I'll also make a separate video, a little tip tutorial video, where I'll just play a beat and show you how I would do it if I would record an interlude like that, or a hosting piece for a mixtape. So maybe this already helps you out, but expect that separate video to come soon. All right, guys, that's where I'm going to end episode 21. I'm going to stick around and record episode 22 right now. But if you have any questions, like I said, you know where to reach me. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. My handle is djTLM. Ask me anything. Add the hashtag share the knowledge. And your question might be on the next episode. That's all for now. See you next time.